This story is a little more mundane, but it still scared the shit out of me when it happened. So, when I was younger, I moved into a new house that had a huge yard. I would walk down to the fence and mess around and stuff. One day I was doing that and started walking inside when a silver car drove by with an older guy waving at me. I stared back. I wasn't really sure if he was just a nicer old guy that was polite or someone creepy. Well, I went straight back inside. Another day I could have sworn I saw a silver car leaving in one direction and looping back around. After that, I was really cautious when I was outside and would mainly play on the side of the house where I could hide between our sunroom that's just out. I saw that car one more time. Just for context, when we first moved in, I wasn't allowed to ride my bike or walk because cars go so immensely fast on my road. Well, the last time I saw the car go by, it was going fast and slow to a crawl when it passed by my house. So a while went by without me seeing that car again, and I was having a conversation with my dad and brother. My dad mentioned how kids were being stupid on the road and how one kid was riding his skateboard alone. Then he said the kid was being followed by a silver car. I lost my shit and decided to not play outside alone anymore. I was like 9 or 10 at the time, and I was walking back from school and I took the shortcut my parents never told me to use unless I was with someone else. But I wanted to get home as fast as I could so I could try my new trampoline. So this shortcut still had a road beside, but cars never really went down it, so I felt safe. I still remember it was Tuesday and we had mild weather. I live in a relatively small town, so I knew quite a lot of people who live there. Anyway, whilst I was walking along the road, this red minivan with blacked out windows started driving towards me. It parked on the curb just in front of me. As I got next to the car, the guy in the car rolled his window down and told me to come closer to the car. The guy had low brown hair and a receding hairline. He was wearing sunglasses, but I could see his eyes, dark brown, but they looked like contacts. He asked if I was lost and kept telling me to come closer to the car. He spoke with an American accent, which was weird because I live in Britain and there was only one American family in my town, but he didn't look like he was on holiday. My mom had trained me for this though because she was always a paranoid parent. I looked the guy dead in the face and with a straight face I carried on walking straight home. I heard him roll his window up. I was screaming in my head when he started his car up again, but he just went past me. When my mom asked me what happened at school today and I told her everything, she freaked out and called the police and they came to my house and asked me about everything. And I gave them a description of the guy in his car, but I didn't get his license plate because I was a child. What I told no one was what happened after this. I'd say it was 2 weeks later when I saw the man outside my school gate talking to someone in year 3. When I saw him reach his hand through the gate, I ran up to him with a stick and smacked it over his hand. He yelled and noticed it was me and said, "I'm gonna get you," through the gate, while staring at me. He then walked away from the school. I'm 15 now, and I'm glad to say I never saw that asshole again, but I did always wonder what would have happened if I walked towards that car. When I was in middle school over spring break, I got bored at night so I hit up some friends. It was like 12 at night, so understandably most people couldn't do anything. But eventually I got one of my friends who said he could hang out, so we decided to meet at a ball field close to both of our houses. He lived a little further away, so I knew I would get there first. But I never saw much traffic at these ball fields, so I wasn't scared of anyone seeing me. And I climbed on top of the dugout building and was just chilling up there until a car pulled up and just stopped. It wasn't like right by me, but probably like 500 or so feet away. I texted my friend, he said he was still a ways away, so I just stuck down on top of the dugouts and hoped nobody saw me. It was dark out, so there wasn't much chance of that anyway, but I was freaking out. I should also probably mention I was a little stoned at the time, so I got paranoid over little things. Anyway, all I saw was the light from a phone on the other side of the car and then it just turned on and left. Dude was probably just smoking a cigarette or something, but at that point I was just happy they were gone and I was alone again. I sat up again and was just chilling on my phone, and then another car pulled in. I was a little more chill about it this time, but it stopped closer than the other one, and then it just turned off and nobody got out. Then after a couple minutes, I texted my friend to see how close he was, and he said he was almost there. After I got that text, the door of the car opened and this middle-aged dude wearing a heavy jacket, baseball cap, and sunglasses came out. Yeah, bad vibes. Anyway, I stayed down and turned off my phone hoping the guy wouldn't see me. He seemed to be looking around though, but then he got back in his car and turned it on. After a few seconds, my friend texted me again saying, "I'm here, where are you?" And I texted, "By the dugout." He then told me to come out so he could find me, and I told him just to come over there because there was a weird guy in his car and I didn't want to go down alone. After I sent that, the dude got out of his car and started walking over to me. I don't think he saw me, but I was full on freaking out at this point. He walked around to the front and I couldn't see, but I heard him shaking the fence in front of the dugout, and then I heard him walking. I saw him walking back to his car and then he just drove off. I waited a couple of minutes and then climbed down and ran as fast as I could home. It was only a 5-minute walk, but I made it in 2 minutes. After I got home, I tried texting my friend, and when he didn't open it, I started texting other people who knew him. It turns out his Snapchat got hacked earlier in the day. That means the entire time I was texting him, I was talking to that guy, and I'm scared to think what he would have done if he had seen me on top of that dugout. This was a few years ago now, but even thinking about it, I get a bad feeling. I just thank my lucky stars that he decided not to look around the dugout any closer.